Good morning, Tartaria, Australia. You know, I realized the other day that I do no solo podcasts. It's the weirdest thing. Like, it's not like I have a problem talking, swearing, or storytelling. Anyway, I'm just getting on because in 2 weeks' time, we're coming down to Melbourne to do this event. And I wanted to say about the event that it's not like last year's event. Number one, our audience has grown with us. All you guys have grown alongside us. You don't really need a recap on Tartaria anymore, correct? You don't need us to go through the star forts and the mud flood and the windows and the doors. Like you're 2, 3, 4 years down this rabbit hole. So this time around, instead of putting a big emphasis on summarizing the Tartarian content, we actually have approached some of the best minds in the world on the topics that we all love. People that we all watch and follow and subscribe to on YouTube. And we've asked them to contribute to the live event by answering a couple of questions with us. And these questions are pertinent questions that I think everyone in our audience is ready to, hear some insightful wisdom on the topic. Like at this point in 2023, here we all stand. We've been through this monolithic epilogue of theories, rabbit holes, conspiracies, program busting, epiphanies. I mean, we've been through so much. And I guess I want to now start asking the question, like, where do you stand now in 2023? What do you believe in now? What do you form the basis of your reality around now? Who do you have faith in? Like, what do you have faith in? Like, what is God now at this moment in human history to you? You know, what is the best of your theory right now? Like, where are you at? Like, what is the best of where you've come to place your understanding, your wisdom, and I guess the container that maintains your life? And I know we all relate to this. I know we're all in this place where we've spent so much time deconstructing and deprogramming. We've kind of got to a point where we need to start to reconstruct and decide what it is we actually believe in now and what wakes us up in the morning with at least a smile on our face. As a lot of you would know, following my little rants and chats with various people, I verge on being a bit cynical now. I verge on this like realm where we're not, I look at reality and I think, fuck, man, we studied, for as much as Tartaria has been mind blowing and every other rabbit hole we've been down for the last 2, 3 decades. I always look at these unfoldings and I think, wow, there was so much more magic afoot. There were so many more events and creatures, and everyone seemed to have a pretty clear pathway towards what side of reality they fell on and how tangible and bendable and shiftable reality was. And then I look around at this moment in human history, which is our moment in human history, and I think, all that stuff about the star seeds and ascension, does that still hold? Is that still hold to this reality? Like, do you guys feel like you've been put here for some divine mission or divine plan? And then, furthermore, what is divinity and who is behind a divine plan? And what is the purpose of it if actually we're just going to cycle like in a loop from this satanic agenda, this anti life agenda, this AI agenda, this whatever agenda, into the opposite, this Christian agenda, this awakened agenda, this pro life agenda, only to then cycle back down, back into the Luciferian. And it's just like this never ending. And each time you come on in, you don't know who you are, you don't know why you're here, you don't know where you've come from, you don't ultimately know what reality is, what the earth is, what humanity is, what the agendas are, how it all works. And also, a lot of the magic is now elusive to us. Like we hear about all this ritual dark magic that plays out with these tangible opposing forces, these anti-life inorganic forces. But do we see that playing out in its opposite? I mean, and that's where I get my cynicism comes up. you know like this reality as we speak is kind of boring. Now my partners and friends would say, fucking hell, Kelly, you're missing the whole point. Like reality is whatever you create. This is a magical time. If you want to make it magical, create it. Like you are the creative reality. I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying, alongside that, we exist now in an environment that is a bit cardboard, a bit cut out, a bit like an info commercial, a bit like watching ads while you're watching a TV show, like on television. Like television, the TV, and ads, that whole bundle sucks and it's boring and it's kind of cardboard. And that's how I kind of feel about our reality. And if any of you've tuned into some of my stories with JC, like, I've had some pretty miraculous, remarkable things happen in this reality. And, like, it would be fun to have more and more and more and more and more and more of that happen. But where I stand today in 2023, I have certain questions because I can feel the need to start reconstructing our faith in something. And the best way to start on a journey like that is to bring together our friends and family, the consciousnesses and the minds that we've all utilized and enjoyed weaving through these pathways. People like Jay Dreamers and Archaics and Martin Letge and Mark Devlin. Did you guys know he was touring Australia? I'll tell you all about that at the event. The Tartarian Truthers. Hello, I love those girls. And then right into JC's amazing address book of beautiful sacred souls who are doing all this amazing work with psychology and really getting their heads around the demonic entity, the darker magic here. What are their thoughts? What is reality? And what do you believe in now? And when you want to say a prayer or you want to sit in gratitude to something, like what is that you sit in? Is it nature? Is it nature? And what is nature? Is it country, as our beautiful elders would say? I mean, and what is country? Is it the dreaming? And what is the dreaming? And how much impact does the dreaming actually tangibly have in everything we know? I mean, like I still have infuriating conversations with dear, dear friends of mine close to me who just, well, look, you guys know the drill. So, look, this isn't a Kelly rant, although I could turn it into one. What this is a promo disguised as a Kelly rant. No, I just wanted to get on and reach out personally because I don't do that often, and it's not personal. It's simply that like my life is taken up with like a real tug of war between being on this computer, my actual carbonate job, and of course wanting to be out here and building a beautiful farm. And then I think, why do we build farms? Like, are we going to be faced with an event in a few years where poof, we're out of it, we just like pinged out of it, that or are we literally going to die old here? I mean, like, to actually be in a reality where we don't know the answer to that question is fucking weird, right? It's weird. And it's unmotivating in as much as like wanting to like make anything of this life. I mean, I'm just speaking from me. I can't speak for you guys, but I find it unmotivating. we simply don't know why we're doing any of this. Everyone who's driven to do much in this reality, it seems to be underpinned by, making money at some level. And if that doesn't drive you, then, then it can be of service to others. But ultimately, it still comes down to the element of money, that great enslaving tool. And look, trust me, I've done courses and courses about my very bad attitude towards money. But at the end of the day, I think that everything has an original intention. And the original intention of money was to enslave. It was never to liberate or make exchanges easier. It was always to enslave. I mean, there's an amazing last book on the Anastasia Ring Cedars of Russia, which talks about how money was introduced with the priests. I thought it was a really good story. Anyway, so I just wanted to jump on and say that this event, first of all, it should be a fucking party celebration for everyone who came last year. Like, if you were there last year, then fucking be here this year, because like these events in Melbourne, there's something special about them that, we've done. I mean, I've personally done, a lot since Melbourne. I've been all over the place doing little community events and some bigger events, and like did Norfolk Island and Rockhampton and all over the place. And there's something about the Melbourne energetic, because it was our first one. And do you guys remember how we actually we just been through that full on traumatic lockdown scenario? Oh my God, how fucking traumatic was that? And we came out and we were the first ever like truth movement outside of a protest to actually attempt to do some sort of live event. And of course, you remember they tried to shut us down, and then the Alex Theatre rescued us. But it was all very like hit and miss, and we didn't know what was going to happen. So there was something about the event that was like this amazing healing activator, and it was a release and a relief, and it was like coming together without being harassed by the police. For everyone in Melbourne, it was like a social moment that provided healing after these crazy times. Not that would you guys have changed it really. Like, we actually got to sit there in the epicenter of like this agenda playing out. I mean, historically, it was worth being in the heart of Melbourne. But this time round, we're on year 2, and like I know that a lot of our audience, a lot of you guys, are struggling with health stuff, weird fucking shit. Me too. Look, the frequencies never like stopped attacking in Victoria, and it's a bit cyclic. And unless you kind of manage to escape and get out of there, you have been dealing with what is, a harsh environment down there, and a shit agenda, and frequency bombardment. And all I can say on that topic is that there's something about these events that boosts your immune system. It boosts your health and well-being. It's something about coming together with hundreds of others. It's just pure joy and love. Really, it doesn't even matter what we talk about on stage, honestly. Although we will put on a thought-provoking show, it is just the coming together of the consciousness that for Melbourneites is actually really fucking important. I want to tell you that really strongly. Being at this event is really fucking important for your well-being. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, I would love to see everyone who was there last year at this event. You know what I mean? But ultimately, I just wanted to say it's not going to be centered around the rabbit hole that is Tartaria. I mean, I'm assuming you've integrated all that, and we can start to like reconstruct the realm versus deconstruct it. And that's a maturing. That's a maturing of the live events. And this time round, we're integrating our friends from around the world, with the intention that we can eventually bring them over to Australia and tour some of the greatest, online researchers, truthers in this genre, which I personally would love. I'm sure you guys would too. So look, there's been a bit of confusion about the tickets, but if you go on, you can press a button that says view more pricing options. So I've got a family ticket in there, and I've got an under 16-year-old ticket, and I've got anyone been affected by all the fuckery ticket. You don't have to justify that ticket. If you have had a really rough time, if you've been affected by the mandates, anything that's fucking affected you and you really want to come, but you just can't afford the full ticket, then that's your pricing option. So it's only $10 more than last year. But if you're fine and you can afford it, then the full price ticket for an adult is like it's good. You're getting a whole day event. It's fair. This show is a super expensive one to put on, but it's worth it because I want us to sit comfortably in some form of luxurious, enjoyable, civilized. I mean, it's very hard to find civilized experience, isn't it, these days? Where we're all just like really happy, safe, warm, and entertained. Like, I just think that it's worth it myself. The bowls clubs are fun. Don't get me wrong. I like being able to get a $3 beer and but it's a different vibe. It's an entirely different vibe. It can't create the same container. The thing about the Alex Theatre is it generates a container. When you guys come in there and we close the energy and we clear it, and then we present the day, and then we end the energy and we end the circle and we clear it. Like there's something special. I mean, for those who've read Anastasia, it's kind of like a dolmen, where the consciousness stays in the space throughout all time and can be accessible for others on the same wavelength, but can't be fucked with people from the outside on a different frequency. That's why we haven't broadcasted the live events, by the way. We just decided that like we didn't want the live events out there on a pre-record accessible. We don't want it because of all the frequency fuckery out there. We just don't want to bring it. We don't want to have it out there. What we want is for those who come to the live event to have a sacred experience with us in a protected container, and that only if you're at the event could you speak of that event, and then we close it at the end. So it's just like protected on your timeline for all of time. We talk about holographic kinetics where we go back in time to look at original trauma as well. This sort of event is like something that can stay on the timeline as sacred and life-giving. All right. So yeah, so this is I'm going to start doing a little bit more of this having a chat type vibe. So it's the 8th of July. We're doing the event. It's the same format as last year. I'd get there around 8:30. We're starting the show at 9. Lots of like dancing and music. Lots of excellent contribution from our guests. Beautiful visuals. Hopefully I am on fire and are being very entertaining and funny. And JC with her beautiful, grounded, fucking high level wisdom, and Campbell with his just like Campbell, the dude from the 80s, the dude from the 80s pub rock scene. I love that about my little buddy. He's just a dude from the pubs, and he's just got a real like down to earth Aussie vibe, which is really cool. And a shitload of insider knowledge now, all these years on. So the three of us have a nice soft combination, and Dale Holmes will be joining us on stage. Just to get it in there with the old Dale. He joined us in Lismore. It was really fun. So if you're a fan of Dale Holmes, you can come and meet him. He will be there. And of course, we will socialize afterwards. We will make an effort, but I'm not going to say anything about it until on the day. So no one can fuck with it. You know what I mean? All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. And everyone who sent me message or Campbell messages or JC messages who have things they want to show us or content they want to offer. After the show is the time to do it. We spend about an hour in the foyer with everyone, which is cool. And then we'll go on for a couple of hours after that. And then, of course, there's Sunday. Campbell and I always offer the bonus beat Sunday, primarily because that's the time where we can sit down with you guys and we're not exhausted from the talk and can actually disconnect in a much bigger sense. And plus we love Melbourne and it's all its fucking amazing buildings. Hello. But we did a cool one in Lismore where we actually just sat in a park, did a round circle and everyone got to share. But the difference, of course, is that it's fucking freezing in Melbourne and it's sunny in the Northern Rivers. So we'll see how it plays out. Anyway, tickets on sale, guys. And we are halfway there, and I will see you, whoever you are, on the 8th of July in Melbourne with a Campbell Purvis and a JCK and Dale Holmes and a whole pile of awesome truthers that you guys love and admire. So, man, have a beautiful day.